be the one that you adore. Danger, danger. Danger, danger. Danger, danger. Could be a stranger. Could be the one that you adore.
Greetings and thank you for joining us. This is Danger Aware, and I am Ray Howell, the Chief Information Officer and the main animator. So at this point we are working on creating a new character called ZoyZoyHop. She's not a new character, but we're creating a new version of her. So that's what we're working on here. Excuse me, I had to turn off my monitoring computer. I was getting some feedback there. So here we have the ZoyZoyHop character, and recently I have worked on producing her new hands, how that she can move her hands around and grasp things. And with 4 hands, as you can imagine, that was a lot of work. But the beauty of all that work is now that I can go in and animate each of her hands without having to use a bunch of static images that simply are the same image again and again and again, making for quite, boring character. So with this new rigging, I can actually bring the fingers in to grasp things if I'm very careful. The best way to work with a lever is to get a hold of it and then move away from it. And the further you are away, the easier it is to get exactly what you want out of it. So I can turn this hand up and down, and I can turn the back hand or make fingers under and over the object in the hand, and just do all kinds of neat things now that I've got this character rigged properly. So like if I wanted this finger to, let's do the forefinger, because that one's actually up where we can grasp this item. So we do this, and we can move the lever here to grasp that with that finger only, if we get it just right. Again, you move up and away, it makes it easier to get exactly what you're looking for. And what I want is just the forefinger grasping over the triangle. Oh, there it is, right there. So now I can actually do that. It looks like the round of the thumb, or I can bring the thumb down like this, so it looks like the character is grabbing a hold of that actual object. And so we can do anything we want with these hands, and all 4 hands are now rigged so that we can do that. And we can turn the lower part of the body so that the legs are around the back side of the character, and we can reverse each foot so that they can point in the same direction if needed, like this. And we get the spurs on the back of the leg showing depending on where the leg is pointing. So if the foot is pointing towards us, the fins or the spurs are in the back. If the leg is pointing this direction, the spurs come around the front. And if the foot is pointing towards the back of the body, then the spurs are out here where we can see them in front. So that gives us the ability to make the character look like it's walking this direction. Sorry, when I zoom out, it sometimes jumps many frames. So we can make it look like the character's going this direction. And we can do the same with the torso and the body there. So not only does the bottom of the body change the shape of the body when it turns, so does the thorax. So we've got the character's arms can go around and be on the back side or the front side together. And then we worked on the mouth and made the mouth do all kinds of neat things so that we can produce any kind of mouth we want. But we've also got the phonetic mouth should we need to desire to now it looks like there's a problem there. Oh, I probably had it on when I was doing this. Now I need to turn it I turned it off and now I need to turn it back on, or turn it to neutral so that it can come on. So probably here in this action. So let's take a look at that phonetic mouth, and let's just make sure that this bone, and that should be highlighted if we've got a hold of it. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is this bone, so we should have no action on these red objects here. So we're just going to delete those, and now we should be able to go back to the home main line and manipulate that phonetic mouth, and it'll stay on now as I rotate to each different mouth shape. So I've got the ability to make the mouth create any shape I like, or to quickly go in and lip sync should I need to make the character speak with standard cartoon phonetics. Then I worked on the eyes and linked them together. So right now, using just this one control, I can make the character blink and move her eyes and make them bigger and smaller, and the pupils, and move the pupils up and down and left and right. So I've got complete control over the character's eyes, and they're linked together, but I can come in here and disconnect that linkage and the bone constraints right here simply by changing this to none. And now I can do that one eye, the eyelid up and down separately, so I could make the character wink. Wink. Either eye. So I can make this eye wink or this eye wink. But to blink, I would need to move them both independently. So instead, I keep them linked until such a time as I want to do just the one. So when we select this bone, we need to link it to this bone. This is the character's right eye, so we need to link to the left eye pupil up and down, or not pupil, but eyelids. So left eyelids up and down. That needs to be the target. Oops, sorry. That one needs to be none. That needs to be the angle control bone. So when this bone moves, so will this red bone that we currently selected. So if I close this and go back to this, now both eyes work together. And we can make the character look around and get excited or scared, or who knows, whatever we can. We can be very expressive. We can make the character frown and smile. And so I wanted to do a few more things on this. I went in here and corrected the hand already so that the ball actually rotates into the palm of the hand and then stays in the palm basically when it's at rest. And similarly with the star, I made it a little smaller to fit the hand. But those objects really are not critically important. They're just for demonstrating that we can put things in the hand. And I found that this palm of the hand on my last hand I worked on was off. I don't know if it was off while I was working on it or if it became off after I finished my recording and demonstrations. So it could have been that it was fine when I would do the video, but when I looked at it later, it was definitely way off on the palm of the hand. So this is only looking weird because I moved the thumb here out of regular alignment. Right there is where it should be. So now when we rotate the hand, it looks more proper. Just one of the things you do have to be aware of, since we are dealing with 2D and not 3D. And so we're going to go in and double check the lower leg rotation. Is that correct? Are we going too far on the rotation? Let's see here. No, that's working fine. I probably went already did go in and fix that. Then we had the lower arms where they go up and down like this. When I rotate around now, they jump around the yellow and they jump. They don't slide around. So what I want to do is make it where they don't go around the yellow, but they stay on the green part of the body there. So that is the lower arms. Well, that would be the arms left and right bone, correct? Or thorax twist. So no, it would be the bottom arms up and down. That's the one I want to work on. So when it comes down, I need to bring both of these bones in. So this one and this one both need to come inward so that they don't go past the green. So let's try this. We'll go back to the main line. And now we're going to go to manipulate the bones and do the torso twist. And it's not in front of the green. That's the problem. It should be in front of the green, or in front of the yellow. Sorry, it's not in front of the thorax. It's going behind the abdomen. It should only be going behind the thorax. So let's look here. So we look at the body. Here's the thorax, and here's the abdomen. And those arms are above everything. So we would need to move the abs, or move the arms down here. Let's see. So the bottom arms would need to be below the thorax but above the abdomen. So right here. But oh, I'm in the animation layer. I can't move that stuff while I'm in the animation layer. So let's do that now. So we're going to move these down. Between the thorax and the abdomen. So the arms are, now they moved though, because now we're in the body group. Okay, which means that they're not going to be rotating properly. Disconnected, so we can't do that. Or if we do it, I have to come in and realign all those bones and parts to the bones directly, because as you see, that's definitely not going to work like this. So let's go ahead and put it back up where they were, or let's try putting them right here. What does that do? Well, that moves them way up there. That's still no good. Alright, we'll just put them back where they originally were. There we go. So, what we can do is change the green part that's getting jumped away from. So let's go here, and we're going to go to grab these 2 points, hit T to grab them both, and then stretch them using Alt. So, whoops, I let one go. We want to change them using the Alt key, because that stretches them from the center outward. And then we're going to go to Curve, hit one of them and go to Curve, and that way we can see the Bezier lines. And let's bring this out like this. And it actually gets it more in line. And we should go out of it. So let's try that. See how that works for our character. We don't want any weird things happening during animation. So let's see here. I'm going to rotate and rotate. That works there, but when I bring the arms down, it's still going around the yellow, not the green. Oh, I know why, because when I brought them down, or when I worked on the thorax going left and right, I haven't fixed it after I changed the original. So thorax twist right here. What we want to do is reset those 2 points. So what we need to do is grab the thorax, which is right there. Grab those 2 points. We can do that by using this tool or using G for grab. And we're going to grab just those 2 points. And we're going to reset them at every place we have markers here. So at 1, 32, and 64. So we come up here and choose reset. And now you can see it's stretched to the size the character is after my changes. But we're going to need to fix things, because this is also, we're resetting what was part of the rotation. So now, when this character rotates, the bottom part of the thorax is not moving at all. You can see that there. So what we want is to grab just this one, hit G, and grab just this point. And when this character, when she's turned all the way this way, let's bring the green in, the thorax in and down just a bit. And then when she's at the other extreme, we'll bring it in and down over here. And not too much. And then at 32, of course, we have to reset everything for both, for both points. So there we go. So now we can go to the main line, and we can test the torso turn, and then the bringing down the arms, and torso turn. And I'm still not happy with that. So we got to go to torso twist, and we've got to go to the point where it's jumping around the body, which is right there. And that seems to be a bit of a quick jump. We need to also be in the bone layer. So we're going to take this bone when it's at 48, and it needs to be where the overlapping of the part is just barely there. So basically with the bone touching the edge, then we need to do the opposite here on this side. So we need to bring this out to about right there. And do the same here. There we go. And go back over here and do the top one as well. It is too close at this point. So right there. Now let's see how that looks. Okay, so at this point it looks good. Now when we bring the arm down, and it's just going to stay behind that yellow, I guess. But that is a better transition there. So we've got that worked out. Well, let's do a little bit more on the leg or the arms dropping. So when it's at 48, it's going to be, let's see here. We're at 16. When it rotates, it's not quite going where it should. So take that out. Go back to torso twist. And we're gonna have to just leave it like it is, because if we start changing it, it won't work at normal rest. We need it to work at normal rest, and then when we use it at the extremes, we can compensate during animation. So we can bring those arms up and down, and we can make the character jump or drop down and get squishy, and then stretch really long when she jumps. And so we're now ready to, well, let's see, I have a list. Let me look at my list. Oh, I want to do the smile. So her smile, when I worked on the smile, I left the center of the mouth alone here, as you can see, and I think I need to bring it up a bit. A lot of people, they smile, we can see all of their teeth and their gums. So let's go into smile, frown. Oh, there it is. And so when she smiles really big, I'm going to bring that lip up in the center. So we're going to go to mouth, and then we want the lips, and then hit T, and we're going to grab this point and hit shift. While holding shift, we're going to bring it on up, so about right there for the most extreme. And so let's see how that does as it comes down. That looks better, I think. And let's include the ability to hide all the teeth on the top at least, wearing frown, again holding shift and dragging the mouth down to like that. So that is a bit more expressive as a smile and a frown. So let's see how that affected our phonetic settings. I don't think it will have affected them at all, but let's take a look anyway. So we need to go back to the main line, and we're going to grab the manipulate bone tool, and we're going to change to the phonetics and take a look at each one. I think they're fine. I don't see any change at all. So I was able to change the center lip for the smile. So let's get back to 0 here. And what we can do is, oh, I'm in the construction layer anyway. When you're in the animation layer and you want to get, for instance, the mouth back to normal, just reset. And it will reset back to however the character is before we started animating. Then you can grab the one bone you need and start manipulating away. So let's see here. We can frown. Yes, that is a better frown and a better smile. So we can do extremes of both. And then the phoneme selector I've already fixed. Oh, and when the character twists their body, her wings should be moving when she does her thorax, not the abdomen. So let's go into the thorax twist. And what we're going to do is grab the wings, literally, go down here and where it says wings. Then we highlight them. And so we now have them selected. We can hit T. And when the character is turned all the way to the right, we need the wings to move to her left. And then when she moves all the way to the left, we need the wings to move all the way to the right. And I'm just going just short of the stroke. And now we go back to 32 and of course reset. So hit 32 and then reset, and now we're fine. We can go back out to the main line. And so as the character twists on the bone layer, the wings twist with her movement. Gives us a lot more realistic. Now the problem is that throws off these bones, so we can't do it that way. So I have to undo what I just did. So let's just go Control Z. Okay. Alright, there we go. So we're back to right before I started changing things on the wings. So we're going to reset these bones, and mostly the angle. That's the only one I really need to reset. And we're going to do the torso twist again, but this time instead of moving the wings as an object, I'm going to move them as bones. So that gives us the ability to continue to manipulate them afterwards. So on thorax twist, at the lowest level, again we're going to move the wings, but we're going to do it by hitting G or B to grab the bone, hitting shift and selecting the second bone, then hitting T, and now I can transform, and the character is turned all the way to the right, so we need to move the wings out to the left, and I'm keeping them within the thorax. So then we go to 64, the maximum, and we put them the other direction, same thing. And then at 32, we of course hit reset. Now we can go to the character on the main line. And we're in the animation layer, and so now when we do the torso twist, the wings do move with it, and we can continue to flap the wings. They're still not quite right. Why are they so far below there? Let's fix that. The problem here is that those wings should go all the way to the point here, and I don't think they are. Let's go ahead and hide the thorax and the abdomen. And so there we can see the wings are definitely not where they belong. So let's select wings and bring this one. Whoops, I don't want to do that. So hit this wing, hit T, and then drag it to where it's just touching the tip of that bone. And this one to the tip of that bone. And by doing that, I think we should make the wings a little bit longer to compensate for those changes. But I gotta do them one at a time. So I gotta grab the G to grab. I'm gonna grab these 3 points. T, and then I can move it like that. Same thing with the other wing. Hit G to grab the 3 points we need to work with. Hit T and put them where we need them. And so now we want to turn the character back on all the way and go to the bone manipulation layer. So now when we twist the body, the wings move and we can flap them, keeping them attached to the body and allowing us a lot of expressiveness with those wings now. So there they are, moving around the thorax. And that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna drop it here. I think my videos have been too long. I don't know, you let me know. So I'm gonna stop this one here, make it a short one. Next time I will do the head tilt and the head turn left and right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.